Hey guys, we're just going to talk about the modifications I've done to my truck. It's a 2019 Colorado ZR2. Had it for about 2.5 years now. Put about 50,000 miles on it already. So it's actually seen a lot of highway driving, a lot of off-roading out here in Colorado and a little bit in Missouri. If you have any questions about anything, or there's something I missed, or you have any good ideas, just put it in the comments section. Alright guys, so to start off, this is the ZR2 2019, so it comes with the factory 2-inch lift. Right now I got the AEV Highmark Fenders on there, so you can see it's kind of the fender right in there, and what this does really is it gives you enough clearance so that you can fit 35-inch tires on here without a lift. What they end up doing is you or whoever you pay to do it, it's actually quite a bit of labor. They go in there and you cut up basically the fender out here. You take off the old fender, you cut all this up right along here, and then you shave up in here, and it basically just kind of winds out. And you'll see how the gas cap kind of comes right up here. And if you'll notice on the stock versions, the fender kind of comes up to here. So it'll allow you to fit 35-inch tires. It's a lot of labor. I didn't do it myself. I didn't have the motivation to do that myself. I have paid somebody to do it. It's kind of worth it though, because I like being able to fit the 35-inch tires on there without getting a lift. It kind of keeps a lower center of gravity. So for me, that was worth it. One thing I did do, and I do recommend it actually, is I got the Chevy Performance leveling kit, and it comes with you'll see right in there, it comes with those kind of new upper control arms as well. It's not just the spacers. So I got those, and that lifts the front up a little bit, and you'll see down here, I'll move the steering wheel here. All right, so yeah, I moved the steering wheel, and you'll see kind of right here, there's no rubbing, but it's pretty close, and that's with the steering wheel turned all the way to the right. Now, I haven't really had any rubbing when I go rock crawling or off-roading. I usually don't have my tires turned that far to the right and being flexed at the same time. So it's not usually an issue for me, but you can see that if I was flexed at all right here, that I would definitely start to rub. But I've had no issues. It's worked out really well for me. You'll kind of see right here where, there used to be some stuff here, and that's all kind of gone and cut away. For the wheels, so I went with the 17-inch Crestone Dualsport rims from AEV. I think they look pretty good. They're also kind of recommended with this fender kit, and it's just based on the spacing and stuff. So if you got rims that, like other rims on Black Rhino from whatever, you'd have to look up the specs. I don't actually know the specs off the top of my head, but I know that these work with the fender kit. I've already got some scratches right there, but that's just on, so these are just it's a protective ring. They're not actually true bead locks. I decided not to go with true bead locks just because of the kind of hassle that comes with them. A lot of people can't put the tires on, and you got to go to some specialty stores to do them, and they're not actually legal in some states and all that. I just didn't want to deal with any of that. But I like the look, so I went with the protection rings instead. For the tires, I went with the Falkin Wildpeaks. These are the mud terrains. I just like the look. I like the look a lot. These are the 35 1250 R17s. They're pretty quiet on the highway. People complain about mud terrains, saying they make a lot of noise. I really haven't noticed any big difference from the factory tires. about the noise. I do play music a lot when I'm riding though, and I don't know, the whole truck makes a lot of noise to be honest, so I could really care less about the noise. So I have this Rome Vagabond tent, and then I use these CBI Overland Bars. I like these bars because they're not that expensive. They're only like 500 bucks, and getting a full bed rack, even the cheap ones are like almost 1,000. These hold a lot of weight. I have the tent, all my gear up inside of it, and then 2 people usually, and I've had no issues with weight. There's also different ways to hook it up, so you can see the little clamps here, but there's also, if you look underneath, you can kind of see where the holes are at. So if you wanted to hook it up that way and go through the actual holes in the bar, you could do that as well. So it gives you a lot of opportunity, a lot of different options. This right here, you can also hook up stuff to this. I haven't really done it or seen a need to yet, but that's just an option. For my bed cover, I use this TuXedo LoPro bed cover. It's not bad. I like it. There's the issue using this bed cover and then using these bars is you'll notice see how these bars are at an angle? So when I go to roll this thing up, it gets caught right here. And so it kind of turns into a pain where I got to shimmy it around just to kind of get it to work. And I'll show you what I mean here. Hold on. All right, I'll try to do this one-handed, but you see it's already kind of rolling up here like that, and it gets caught right there like that. So the only way around that is you kind of lift it off, and you see the other side, and you have to like pull it through like that, and then now you can slide this one in and around like that, and then it kind of messes up the roll. Then you got to start over on the roll again. And it was kind of one of those things that it's hard to kind of figure that would happen when you're buying all this stuff, and then you get it all and then you realize, oh, this doesn't really work out that well. But I like keeping my things dry in here when I'm riding, and I don't like all the dust kind of collecting on everything. So for me, it's still worth it, and it's a little bit of a hassle, but it's not too much of a hassle that I would take it off. All right, so the last thing, let's talk about this tent a little bit. This is the Rome Vagabond tent. It's about $2,000 with the Annex, and I bought it with the Annex just because that's the only one the store had at the time. And if you ordered it online, it was like 3 months back ordered. So I decided just to go with the Annex. And then this is kind of the lowest grade tent you can get. There's other ones that are like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. It starts to get really pricey. The only thing that I don't like about this tent is the whole point of like a rooftop tent, in my opinion, is how quick it is to kind of put it up and take it down. So anything that kind of stops that is something that I don't really want. And this tent, of all the tents that you can buy, takes the longest to set up and the longest to put away, and it's not super easy either. There's these zippers right here. This zipper can turn into a real pain pretty quickly, and then all these buckles. It just, like, when I'm camping, I want to be able to like pick a spot and just be like, all right, I'm gonna camp here. And then within a moment's notice, I'll be like, all right, well, actually, I'm gonna move sites real quick, pack everything up and go. And if there's something that stops me from moving campsites, like, oh, well, I don't really wanna pack up the tent because it's a lot of extra work to move the tent, then that's where it kind of becomes like a barrier to entry for me, and then it's not really doing what I want it to do. I just wanna be able to pack up the tent real quick, leave, go to a new spot, unpack it, set up, with like very minimal work, I guess. So that's my opinion on it. The only problem is to get a tent that does pack up really quick, it's gonna cost another $2,000 on top of the $2,000 that you already paid for the lowest quality tent. So is it worth the extra $2,000? Maybe if I made more money, but right now it's not. So I'm just gonna stick with my good old Rome tent. And one thing I did want to mention is some of these tent companies make covers, like tent covers that don't go with the truck at all. For me, I want the tent cover to at least match or go with like the truck color. So if I have a black truck and then I have some like tan or super light gray colored tent cover, it just kind of doesn't go with the truck very well. So that's one thing I do like about the Roam covers, is they're all black, which kind of matches well and goes well with the rest of the truck. But that's it, and that's all I've done to this truck so far. Those are the only things I've done. And so one thing I did want to talk about too is some of the stuff that I plan on doing to the truck. So the ZR2 has the spare tire under here, and that's actually my old spare tire with the 31-inch tires and the old rims, because I can't fit the 35-inch tires in that same spot anymore. So basically I'm running without a spare tire, and I don't want to put it in my trunk or in my bed just because it takes up so much space. So what I want to do is get a bumper that has like a swing arm, so you can put, kind of like how a Jeep, you put the rear tire or the spare tire on the rear, and then you have a little swing arm that pops out so you can still get into the bed. So that's one of my next upgrades. Second is with the new tires, I haven't re-geared, and I really need to re-gear. The truck feels pretty sluggish right now with the old gears, and then when I'm off-roading, I find myself having to switch into 4-low pretty often for things that I shouldn't have to switch into 4-low for. So it definitely needs to be re-geared. I'm looking at getting the 4.56 nitro gears. They're about $1,000, so I thought about getting those. I know I need to retune it as well, but I'm probably gonna wait to do that until next summer. I'll just hold off on the stock gears for now. But that's really about it for like the near future modifications. I do, you know, if I get spendy, I do want to get a supercharger. So they make a few companies make superchargers for this truck, and you know, I'm not really sure what the value is out of that. It makes it a lot faster and more fun, I guess. I'm not sure if it's worth the money, but that's something I've been thinking about. We'll see. Well, that's it, guys, as far as all the modifications. I hope you found this video a little bit helpful. It's actually it's winter time here in Colorado, so I'll probably be doing less off-roading videos and some more camping videos. Some winter camping stuff. I got a nice Blue Eddy battery that I use to kind of heat up the tent with an electric blanket. So look forward to doing some winter camping.